You orange help place of stone. Yeah,
How are you, sir? Keep going. Yeah. Are you alright? Hey. Time is coming. Yes. But you must make sure you go. Hey man, I must teach you another one. I'm gonna organize. I'm not giving. I'm not Legal. Luciano. Hey. Let's do the vote deal or the song. I get a vote on that topic. Oh, yeah. Time to. How are you? How are you? This is the showroom. Good to see you. Oh, thank you so much. How are you? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Are you good? Good. So, where's the long line to freedom? Yes. Are you all right?
I'm great.
Reviver. How are you, my brother? Good. You have questions for me?
I do.
Come closer. Come closer.
Good morning.
How are you?
Find yourself, sir.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Miamane, I was at the ANC yesterday, and I said they've broken the DA's back and that the DA won't take the Northern Cape as such, because of 3 of the DA members walked over, and some other members also like Shane Freekwell walked over. It seems that they have problems with the leadership in the Northern Cape, that they say they've been talked down to, they feel bullied, there's allegations of the caucus funds being used for other trouble rather than the members' trouble. Meat being bought and so on, allegations and investigations about sexual misconduct perhaps. It's over the past few years now. And this is all boiled down to these members leaving and other members left. So is the DA in the Northern Cape in a difficult situation because of these allegations and their problems with leadership? And how would that boil down to the voters that you desperately need to be able to win the Northern Cape?
Let me first of all say, and I'll allow the provincial leader here to respond. One, we're focused on an election. We are seeing in communities people are coming on board to the DA. The DA is the only party that is growing in this province. If you realize this province, you come, I love the Northern Cape, but every time I come here, I see people who are unemployed. I see money being stolen. I see a criminal syndicate that is called the ANC that has successfully managed to loot people's resources. The Premier here is living on KFC, on taxpayers' money. I mean, it is bizarre. We need change in this province. I'm angry that today we can walk around here. I can take you to any clinic, any place, you'll probably find that there are citizens standing in long lines. So a few people is irrelevant in this election. What is relevant in this election is that you will discover very quickly that DA is growing, that DA is the only party for the future, and quite frankly, anyone who wants to join the ANC today is going backwards. We are looking to the future, and the DA is the only party holding one South Africa for, and I can guarantee you now, when we put Andrew Lowe in here as Premier, we will make sure we put a job in every home. So I'm not worried about any of that stuff. I'm focused on the future of this country.
How do you feel about the process that you went through with the elections and everything? How do you feel about this being on the finish line? How do you feel about that?
It's 48 hours to go. I'm glad the IEC have managed to open on time, do all the processes. The next 2 days will stress test the systems. I mean, I'm a bit concerned about the ordering of special votes as to whether they're alphabetical or not. You want to make sure the process is smooth and quick, but the IEC has been doing a great job so far. I'm happy that all of things are open. Of course, on Wednesday is the big day. That's when the majority of citizens come and express their party of choice. So I want to make sure that the lines work well, everybody comes out on time. I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable that the infrastructure is in place, and we'll get the elections going. These are the most contested elections in the history of democratic South Africa. It's the first time you can tell me, none of you can tell me who's going to win. I know who's going to win. Andrew Lowe is going. So that's why it's so cool. I love these elections because suddenly there's an excitement, there's a vibe. That's what democracy is. Democracy punishes people who have not performed, who steal from them, and expresses a hope, expresses a future. And to me, the future of this country is DA. And I say that because black people, white people, Indian people, colored people work together in the DA. I say that because where we govern, corruption doesn't exist, jobs are created. And we want to make sure the citizens of Khalishiwe are safe, and we want to make sure that actually we build a country where the future is possible. So to me, I'm quite excited. I'm here at a school also. I met the principal here. I wanted to make sure that the kids who finished here at this school one day will be able to find a job. That's the question.
Can I have a follow-up question for you? The DA in the Northern Cape is the only province who can hold a leadership conference a year or what because of problems with the lists. So the allegations are that the DA here didn't have that new conference meeting electing a new leader. So the leadership might be artificial. So there's that feeling amongst all voters. So how would you answer to that?
It's not a feeling amongst all voters. Let me allow the premier candidate. We went through a fair process and we elected a premier candidate who is standing for the position of premier, so we put the best team here to govern. I'll let him respond to that question in a moment. Let me finish here and he'll respond to your respective question.
I've got one question. Is your motto has been change is coming, so how can you be so certain that you're going to win? What information do you have that we don't have at the moment?
You can see when you are coming on. Also, remember the Northern Cape, we've been growing in this province and the NC has been declining. And furthermore, when you engage citizens, this is one of probably the biggest campaign that DA run in this province. It's the campaign where we've engaged more voters in this province. So we've worked hard. We work hard at every election, but I can assure you this has been a unique time and a unique moment in our country. And I really believe citizens are gearing for change because they are all fully alive to the fact that we can't carry on like this. I mean, whilst Sylvia Lucas has KFC, I can tell you now there are citizens here who are hungry, going to bed hungry. We can't carry on like that. So the call is quite clear. You vote for those guys, you're voting for corruption. You want change, you want jobs, you want a clean government, vote for Andrew Lowe.
Thank you.
That's how it is.
Thanks. On the issue of the members that have left the Democratic Alliance, well, the question that one needs to ask is to say, what impact is it going to do to the DA? Not in the least, because it's already 7 months that these members are already inactive. All three of them, as early as last year in December, they were booked off sick. I knew from the beginning that this was not true. It was a way and a means to justify for not being at work. But it's fine, because in the DA we believe people should have choices and we allow people to exercise their choices. Now you see, the most important question you don't ask me, and that is, how did it happen that these people have moved? I'll tell you why. You see, the moment when people start seeing the DA as an employment agency, that is where we've got problems. The Democratic Alliance can never be seen as an employment agency. People that serve in the DA, we serve with distinction, we serve in the interest of the people and not in ourselves. And the most important thing here is the bone of contention is all three of these people are not in electable positions. That is what we must ask. Because it goes without saying, if a person is not in an electable position, obviously it means that those people will not be able to come back as MPs or MPLs. We must start there. And then the next thing that we also need to check here is, Did the DA went backwards for the past 4 to 7 months now that they are inactive in their wards? We immediately commissioned a contingency plan. I deployed people in those areas, and I can tell you now already that in those areas where these people are constituency heads, I visited those areas a few times. We are doing exceptionally well there. On the issue of Shane Griqua, who have left the DA, we contested the by-election. And I don't need to tell you this. You of all people should know it better than me. We contested the by-election and we have won with landslide victories. I mean, what does it tell you? It purely tells you that the choices of the people is quite clear. Shane, together with everybody, they go out there to say that the DA this, the DA that. At the end of the day, it's what the voters says. And the voters have punished Shane and others on top of that. I mean, if that was really the case, why did the people in their numbers have voted for the DA? We've won a by-election, which was contested, and which was contested at a level where people were creating the impression that the DA will be losing that by-election. In fact, contrary to that, we've won that by-election with a landslide victory. What is also very important for me, I was born here in Khalishiwe. I was born here in Khalishiwe, I grew up here. In fact, my parental home is still here. There's very few things that people will tell me about Khalishiwe, because I'm a street boy. I'm a boy that grew up here in the dusty streets here. I've got a relatively good understanding of the people because I understand the culture of people in Khalishiwe. I don't read about their culture in books. I lived it, I understand it, and it's something that I can tell you now than ever before. That when you look at the mood here in Khalishiwe, I've never seen the excitement in Khalishiwe than what it is right now. And the only excitement that one can see, it's a DA excitement. You know, I've been getting a number of calls, WhatsApp messages about people that I know. People who are senior members working for the ANC government. People that says to me, Andrew, now than ever before, I think the ANC have lost it. And a number of people that don't want to come out for reasons best known to themselves, which I completely agree with. But the important thing will be Wednesday at the ballot box. In the past, in the recent past, we could never field so many people as party agents and runners and hoppers in Khalishiwe. Now, we are basically covering all the wards in Khalishiwe, all of them. You can do yourself the favor and go to any VD and find out what is the DA's impact there. You will see that we literally have people everywhere here in Khalishiwe. And those days where people used to say that these are no-go areas, there's no such thing anymore. Khalishiwe is more than ready. In fact, my excitement of this election, it's especially Khalishiwe. I must also give you some historical background. In 2006, I was contesting as a councillor here. We got 11 votes, and that can be informed by the IEC. In 2016, 2 years ago, we've got 8,600 votes out of Khalishiwe alone. So that is a clear indication that the political landscape in Khalishiwe is changing, and the DA is growing. We are the only political party that is growing. We are the only party, even with our campaigns that we've had, the last one which was yesterday, we are the only political party that really have that political clout, where people still feel we are a party of choice.
Would you like to walk out with Mmusi? I think we have to cut this.
Can I ask you some more questions while I'm busy?
Also,
Heel goed.
I'm on the news.